My name is Valerie, and I gave birth to Elliot during the COVID-19 pandemic. I assumed that because I had been tested for COVID and it came back negative, that was kind of the extent of the difference that I would have to do in terms of giving birth. But the nurse staff informed us off the get-go that we would have to wear masks while they were in the room with us. And when he came out, it was really emotional in the sense that, you're wearing your mask, you kind of think in your mind, like, is he going to be okay with all these other people, which I know, nursing staff and everybody, they're keeping you safe, they're keeping your baby safe. But of course it goes through your mind. My whole family was like, when can we see him? Can we see him through the window? Can we see him outside? It was so hard for my family to not want to, do all the, smell him and kiss him and all those things that you do with a brand new baby. It was really hard to just tell themselves that it was enough to just look at him.
We were interested in looking at women who had given birth during the COVID-19 pandemic to find out about their experiences with the birth process, how they communicated with people in their social networks, and then how that affected their care for their child after giving birth. In a time when women often feel like they're losing some of their support network because of the pandemic, this gave them opportunity to talk to other women and provide them that type of informational support and emotional support they needed, and really validate their experience and knowing that they weren't the only ones who had to make difficult decisions, and that the decisions they made for their family, the choices that they made, were right for them, and that was okay.
One thing that we know is that the pandemic is ongoing in the United States, and there will be additional women who are experiencing pregnancy and birth throughout this pandemic. So I think giving women some tools and resources to think about things like how to manage a sense of isolation that you might not have expected to be part of your birth experience, or how to manage some of those uncomfortable conversations that you might be having with friends and family members who expect to come and visit you after the baby. So just knowing what's coming, I think, can go a long way in helping people prepare.
This is Zoe, and she was born during the global pandemic. March was when they were really buckling down on things. I had been going to the doctor's office and I was able to have him with me, and then it was like the pandemic hit, and then all of a sudden I wasn't allowed to have him with me at all. With her being preemie, her breathing was a little bit shallow and fast, so they rushed her actually right away to the NICU. We weren't able to nobody was allowed. It was just me and him. We had this brand new baby and we couldn't share, with anybody at all because, of COVID. Then we had to wear masks. You couldn't even have your phone inside the NICU at all. Now she's 3 months old. They don't know what the virus would do with a baby. It's different. It's very different than what I imagined it would be. After, I think, has been harder. Whatever she is exposed to is from me. I'm her advocate. So whatever she's doing, or if she, gets infection or she gets the virus, that's because of me allowing a person or allowing her to be exposed to that. Now it's not just I have to worry about the virus for myself. Now it's I have to worry about the virus for her and me. And so going back to work, I do get exposed to things. I go in, I change in the basement, I come upstairs, I take a shower, and then I deal with her. You have to be extra careful.
One piece of advice that we could give from our results is recognize that you're not alone. There are others who are experiencing this with you, and there is people there to support you. You are your biggest advocate. Feel comfortable and confident in explaining what it is that you need, whether that be to your healthcare provider, to your partner, to anyone in your support network. Trust your gut. Know your instincts are accurate, and just go with what you think is most important for your health and the health of your child.
It's important to understand that the wheel keeps turning despite a pandemic, despite every single thing, and that whether it's your first baby, your 10th baby, your rainbow baby, that every single perspective gives you this sense of understanding. When I gave birth to Elliot, I had so much guilt that my husband wasn't with me. And in talking with those women and hearing all of those stories, I thought, why did I even for a second feel guilty about what you do to survive? As soon as the Zoom meeting was over, I immediately called my husband and I said, I cannot tell you how validated I feel hearing all of these other stories of women that had to make tough decisions just like me, and that I'm not so singular and alone in making those decisions.
For moms to enjoy that time that you do have and focus on the actual positive of this life that you brought into the world, and that you are able to share it with that person that you brought it in with. Now that I look back, me and my husband were able to have a super intimate time having this baby. There's nobody that would understand that experience that we went through together. It's just an amazing experience in life to have, and it was nice to be able to just enjoy it with him. And like, we created this and this is what we did, and we're okay.
For friends and family members who know somebody who is currently pregnant or just recently gave birth, try to be patient and understanding as parents are making these very difficult decisions where they might feel like they're disappointing people or offending people by setting limits and boundaries on things like visitations. Offer women some grace during this really, really difficult period, and try to respect the decisions that they're making under really unprecedented circumstances.